I mean, can we talk
Maybe
about
even
something
less.
we all agree on, like Kyle Rittenhouse being a guilty? He should be locked up forever for what he did.
Have you
At
guys
least
been
we can
watching
all
it?
agree on that non-decisive or
you guys
divisive issue.
Have you guys been watching the trial?
Well,
It is-
I did
it's
turn
like-
on the footage. I think it was maybe the first day. I forget which day it was. I turned it on. I was on the bus going to see my aunt in Detroit, and I just turned it all the way up. But it's the bus is kind of loud, so I have my Bluetooth speaker. I turned that all the way up too and put it up next to my head. And some guy came up on the stage talking about quoting somebody about how he's going to shoot so and so, but then he started saying this word. And I tell you, they had to pull the bus over. I had to apologize. I had to write a formal statement to the bus company. Big ups to Jefferson. Sorry that it all went down like that. But anyway, ever since then, I kind of I got a little preoccupied. So I'm glad to hear more about it. If they're, I want to get the details.
You got to watch I'd watch a highlight reel because there's like a lot.
There's a lot.
9 hours a day.
It's such a fucking shit show that it's
so
hilarious.
good. It is. No, you know what it is? You know what I kind of realized? The media has lied so much about what actually happened, saying like he was a white supremacist gang member. Okay, he's not even white. They don't know what they're talking about. They're saying like you can see the footage of this guy threatening to kill him if he gets him alone, and then later he chases him, backs him into a corner alone, and gets shot for it. It's like if any normal person can clearly watch all of the evidence and be like, oh, okay, that was self-defense.
All right, can I?
They've lied so much about it that my point though is the witness they had didn't seem to understand that he was incriminating himself and basically saying that Kyle was innocent because he thought he was just repeating everything he's always said that the media said was good. Yeah,
true. Like. All right, so I when I was thinking about it, it's like okay. I think the whole idea of Kyle Rittenhouse going there with a assault like weapon or whatever the fuck they call it, and as 17-year-old, it's a little bit goofy and kind of probably not the most responsible thing to do. And then all the other shit unfolded where it ended with him, shooting 3 people, killing 2, I guess.
Yeah,
and so that's like something that. If you're going to be the prosecutor and try to make a case against him and bring all these witnesses in court, they have the worst possible case. So I was listening. All right,
it's like he doesn't know what he's doing. The prosecutor, it's like I don't understand.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet the prosecutor wants a mistrial so that this is all over because he thinks Rittenhouse is innocent too.
Yeah, well, it's like they've completely ruined their own case, and so. Whenever it came down to the testimony of the dude who got his bicep shot, he had a gun, right?
Yeah,
and
aimed at his head.
Like from his testimony, I thought it was kind of this is like a fear of mine. You don't really exactly know what you're doing. You don't know the entirety of the situation. Like if he was claiming that he thought Kyle Rittenhouse was an active shooter who was like just shooting people, and he's like, oh fuck, maybe I could. I have my concealed carry permit, even though it was expired. I should probably take action in this situation. If that was true and that was his intent, then he was just. It seemed like he was probably roughly doing the right thing.
Yeah, like I don't think they were. I mean, aside from them all being violent rioters and going there to cause trouble and burn stuff,
right?
And that's why they were all mad at Kyle Rittenhouse and the people that were there putting out fires. That's why all the rioters were mad at them. They were like the others that were stopping our fires. We're trying to see shit burn. So they hated him. But I do kind of understand that but when you're in a mob, you can't believe what other people are yelling. Like, oh, he's a shooter. He's shooting people for no reason. Like, okay, well,
yeah, you should probably run away if that's what you think.
You're all rioters too. We're here to break laws. I'm not going to take your word for it and dig myself.
Do we know if this podcast will be up before or after the verdict is in?
When is the verdict?
The verdict, the judge today said he's hoping for Monday.
Okay, so should we take bets on the verdict and the public response, plus or minus on some extra rioting thrown in there?
Wait, can we hold that bet for a second and Reactor? Because I'm not sure if we actually said all of the clips like that really just fucking destroyed this case. And Eggy, said that he wasn't fully up to steam. I don't know if you can kind of lay it out.
So the most popular clip is from when the Gage Grosskreutz was he's the only surviving person who got shot by Rittenhouse.
Mm-hmm.
He
very careful not to use the word victim. That's funny.
I mean, he's not a victim. Like Rittenhouse is the victim. He was being chased by a mob. Like you can't say anything otherwise because that's literally what was happening. But he was on the stand, and the most famous clip is the defense attorney said to him, when you ran up to Rittenhouse with the gun in your hand, did he shoot you? And he said, no. He had his hands up in surrender, and Rittenhouse was conscious of that and didn't shoot him, and he lowered his weapon. And he was like, and it wasn't until you then dropped your hands and charged at him, pointing your gun at his head, that he shot you, right? And he was like, yes, that's correct. So it's like he basically laid out a clear case of self-defense, and Rittenhouse clearly knew trigger discipline that, okay, his hands are up. He's not a threat. He drops his hands, points the gun at his head, and charges towards him. He's a threat. And then he literally disarmed him and didn't kill him.
But he was also he also said that he saw Kyle Rittenhouse like re-rack the gun, and so
which also was proven
that he misfired.
No, he thought like it was a fake out surrender. That's what it was. And then when Rittenhouse lowered his weapon, he was like, now's my chance. So he pointed the gun at his head. Bad move, because now you're a threat again. You get disarmed. But
yeah, so that was the living
true. He may
person
have
who got shot.
Yeah, he may have thought he was re-racking his weapon and like pulling it back to put a new round in it. But that would expel a live round onto the ground, an unused round with the bullet still on it. And there is no evidence of a live round being left on the ground. So they know that's not true. He had a 30 round, real quick, he had a 30 round magazine minus 8 rounds that he fired, and he had all the rounds accounted for after that.
True. Okay. So there was also a witness that they brought on. I think there was an
autistic guy who had like a photographic memory.
Uh-huh.
And it was also funny because the DA was trying to like, what's the word? Like, he was being corrupt. He tried getting him to change his statement because he thought this guy was retarded when really he was just autistic, you know?
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
Yeah. So like there's a big difference. Autists have photographic memories and aren't stupid. And so he thought he could take advantage of him.
Well,
and get him to
some
change
of
his
them
story.
are. I've met a few stupid autistic people before.
Yeah, I guess it's a spectrum, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
There was one witness that I thought they were trying to get testimony on, like the guy with the skateboard, who got shot. And they were trying to say like, well, like obviously you weren't in you can't read his mind. You can't tell what he was thinking. So what made you think that he was a threat? And he's like, the guy said he was had said he was going to fucking
Rosenbaum, the first guy. The first guy said,
is that the guy who's a pedophile?
Yeah, he said, if I get you alone, I'm gonna kill you. He said that to Rittenhouse. He literally said it to Rittenhouse.
But what's the deal with like this rapist pedo shit though?
Yeah, they're trying to bring up his past like it matters. He raped like 5 boys under the age of 11 or something and went to prison for it.
I mean, that sounds like a pretty bad person.
I mean, yeah, it sounds like Kyle might have done society a favor, right?
No, he did his time. He went to a correctional facility, did his time, and was rehabilitated.
Oh, okay.
I mean, maybe he was rehabilitated on that, but he sounded like he was still out in those streets looking for children.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it looks like he was attacking Kyle Rittenhouse.
But, yeah, he literally told Kyle earlier in the day that if he got him alone, he was gonna fucking kill him. And then he started chasing Rittenhouse later and backed Rittenhouse into a corner, and Rittenhouse shot him.
Wait, so how old was Kyle when this happened?
17. Another funny thing from today.
So he's an underage guy and a convicted pedophile chasing after him, and he shot him?
Yeah, and now all the left is defending him.
Uh-oh.
But you know how that goes. That's not...
can't bring that up on Twitter.
Oh, yeah. But today it was funny. Rittenhouse actually went on the stand, which most attorneys would like tell you not to do that because then they can cross-examine you, the prosecutors can, and they can ask you anything. But what was I getting at? I don't know. Today was pretty funny too.
People are making memes because Kyle started crying on the stand or something.
The prosecutor was like, so when Rosenbaum was chasing you, did he still have the chain that he was holding when he threatened you earlier in the day to kill you? And Rittenhouse was like, no, but I didn't know that at the time. And he was saying, so he was unarmed when when you shot him. And he was like, yeah, well, he had my gun barrel. He was grabbing my gun. So and I guess technically by law, that would be like dual possession. If you have someone's weapon in your hand, they're no longer unarmed because you're fighting over a weapon.
Okay.
So, I mean, that was the case. But this prosecutor was like, he was going over, like, he was naming specific weapons that they didn't have. So it was like the guy Huber who hit him in the head twice with a skateboard. He was like, did he have a gun? He was like, no. Did he have a knife? No. Like, he had a skateboard. Like, he didn't have a hammer. He didn't have a bow and arrow. He didn't have, a threat is a threat. You don't have to have a gun to be a threat. But
I've seen footage of people hitting people in the head with skateboard trucks, and that shit is brutal.
You can snap their spine if you do it right. If you karate chop
easily.
them with it.
You can crack their skull in.
Yeah, but the funniest one was that Grosskreutz had the pistol when and Kyle shot him in the arm, and the prosecutor's the picture he was trying to paint was that Kyle had an assault rifle and Grosskreutz only had a pistol. So wasn't Kyle the threat and not Grosskreutz because he only had a pistol? Like what?
Like, okay, yeah, shoot me. Sorry, I have the bigger gun. Shoot
it's like
me.
It's as if it's paper, scissors, rock. It's like you had paper and he had rock. So weren't you the threat? Like what? It's you can still bash my face in. What?
And he was trying to goddamn, there's one funny clip where all right, there was two that I saw today. One where he was trying to bring up Call of Duty, like the fact that he plays Call of Duty, and I don't know. He was trying to make like a case that video games cause violence, I guess.
Yeah, they're still doing that in 2021.
Yeah, he was trying to say that Kyle thought or wanted to play Call of Duty in real life. Like,
is Hillary Clinton this kid's lawyer?
In Call of Duty, isn't the goal to kill everyone? And he was like, "What? What?
It's a video
Well,
game.
I played some Call of Duty earlier today, and it sounds like from some of the quotations I've been hearing in this trial using certain words, it sounds like there were some Call of Duty players on the scene. They were saying some certain words that I heard a lot of in my headset today, and a lot of it.
You know what Kyle should have said? He should have stood up and said, well, Mr. Prosecutor, if playing Call of Duty makes me a killer, then maybe you should play Ace Attorney so you could be a real lawyer, motherfucker! And then he throws down his microphone, starts dancing on the judge's table, and the judge starts fucking screaming. He's waving his gavel like, order in this courtroom! But then he sees Kyle's juicy dance moves up on top of on his desk. He says, you know what? This young man, he might have slain 2.5 souls in the street, but his dance moves have inspired this judge for an early retirement. Kyle Rittenhouse, you are freeze to go, my friend. You are freeze to go.
The jury is crying.
But another thing that happened was
did you see his TikTok account?
Whose?
Did you see they cross-examined in the fucking prosecutor, whoever was bringing up his TikTok account, and he's like, so is this you? Is this your TikTok account? Under the username 4 Doors More
Instagram,
Whores? Instagram. He's like, yeah.
He was like, yeah.
And he goes, now this is the line in the description of your account. It says, bruh, BRUH, I'm just trying to be famous.
Yeah.
Did you type that? He's like, yeah. And that was the end of his cross-examination.
Welcome to TikTok.
That was the end. He kept going, but the defense also asked for a mistrial because the prosecutor, I guess it's like there's something called the Fifth Amendment rights where you don't have to talk, right? And the prosecutor in front of the jury started grilling Kyle for not talking to the press until the trial. He was like, "So why were you staying quiet?" And the judge was like, "What the fuck?" And he had the jury leave, and he was like, "What?" He started yelling. He was literally yelling at the guy. He was like, "I don't know what you're thinking, but this is a huge violation of federal law. You can't ask someone in front of a jury why they wanted to stay quiet. They have the right to remain silent." And so then the defense asked for a mistrial. So see where that goes. I don't know.
Oh fuck! And also the judge's cell phone went off, and his ringtone was "Proud to be an American."
Yeah, which the left. So the left is freaking out about that, saying he's biased.
So the left hates the judge. So going back to Monkey's question, what do you think the results will be, and what do you think the fallout will be?
Let me ask you this real quick. Why would the defense want a mistrial if it's like clear that they're winning? Wouldn't they just want
prejudice.
a non-guilty?
The defense wants a mistrial with prejudice, which means
no more trials.
That means it's over with. He's free.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Saying
I think that'll probably happen then. This judge is getting pissed.
Yeah, he destroyed the chance of a fair trial by bringing up stupid shit that is illegal and he should be disbarred for. Yeah.
So I think watching all these clips at least and just seeing, people on both sides, at least on the internet, saying how it's a pretty terrible case for the prosecutor. It seems quite open and shut that Rittenhouse will be acquitted.
But
now that's the internet. Now they can say, this is just what my prediction is. They can say whatever, there was something wrong with the judge, blah blah blah. They can try to do I don't know, any lawyer talk.
Hey, what I think is going to happen. There's another thing you need to know though before you make your decision.
Okay.
There's a viral video of like George Floyd's nephew or acquaintance or friend, some dude claiming to be his nephew, saying that he's gonna take action against any jury members who don't say Kyle's guilty. So that might sway the jury's opinion. So
is the jury not anonymous?
They are, but in the video he said that he had people taking pictures of them, whether they knew it or not. And then yesterday morning,
how the fuck is that guy not arrested?
Yesterday morning, it was realized that someone had taken a video of the jury boarding the bus to the courthouse. So now they know that their identities are in jeopardy. So that might change the decision.
There's been a lot of cases like this. Before it started, I thought that this was such a politicized case that, Rittenhouse was just going to get guilty no matter what to, prevent riots and soothe the people and all the other bullshit. We've seen it before where the evidence, but this is like the defense is so fucking bad. Sorry, the prosecutor.
There's no prosecutor. There is no case.
They have no case and they just keep fumbling. And like in the law sense, how a court operates, they have 100% lost about 6 different times. And so I think that he's definitely going to get acquitted, but I know people IRL, they are not paying attention to this case. They're going to be pissed off. They're going to spout whatever the media says because they're not watching any of the clips. I'm just watching the clips.
Yeah,
and
just
making
watch the trial. The whole incident is literally on video from multiple angles.
So do you guys think like we're going to see cities burning, the judge's house is going to be arson?
Well, I think they need to make a law against burning cities down before the end of the trial.
I think that might be against the law.
They should also make a law against threatening juries because that would have helped Derek Chauvin.
These are great ideas. We should get these in the law books.
Yeah. I kind of feel like the future of the American legal system might just be on a little bit of shaky ground of when any jury who might not vote in the interest of state propaganda is having their identity maliciously wielded in order to coerce them into always agreeing with state propaganda. I mean, that's just me. I'm sure that we'll get it all worked out here pretty soon. There'll be a lot of flowers and kisses and hugs.
I think
maybe we could all
loophole.
have a nice dance hall with some jerk chicken and rainbows. I think it'll be real smooth very soon, but it does just make me scratch the chin a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
I think threatening the jury is a genius loophole, and I can't believe nobody thought of it sooner.
Yeah, why isn't everyone thought about threatening the jury to get so
who cares
hopefully
what
by
the evidence
Monday
says?
We'll get it.
Make the jury fear for their life and they'll say what you want.
Well, if I do recall, there was an episode of Sherlock Holmes when Moriarty threatened the jury, so maybe George Floyd's cousin is just as much of a criminal mastermind as Moriarty.
So what do you think's going to happen then, Mumkey?
Well, I'm curious to know which cities are going to be targeted. Will this just be nationwide? Every blue city is going to burn?
No.
Or
See, there's also another aspect that you're not considering. It's not an election.
Is that
year.
you just took a big bong hit?
What?
No.
Is that what I'm hearing?
It's not an election year. So cities probably won't burn.
Well, I don't know. I think people are pretty plugged into this on social media, and social media breeds the stupidest and loudest of people to meet up and destroy their own habitat.
But Democrats aren't going to allow shit to get burned because there's no benefit.
What are they going to do to stop it?
Well, they won't tell the police to stand down.
They aren't going to.
Yeah,
they aren't going to hire a bunch of people and send them out there with bricks and put them in camps outside of the cities they want to burn.
They're not going to stack pallets of bricks around cities.
I don't know. I think if this kid gets off scot-free or whatever the phrase is, I think Black Lives Matter is going to want their voice to be heard, and I think things are going to light on fire. That's my prediction. That's my bet.
Yeah, okay, $100. But Black Lives Matter only exists during election years.
We'll see.
Or midterms.
I don't know if that's true. I could have swore like during, not even in the last year of Obama, but like in an awkward period that wasn't necessarily around elections is when they were really getting their power.
If you were to see like a graph of like articles talking about BLM, it would spike during election years.
Well, that's probably because that's when people who aren't getting their political voice heard fairly on the stage of our country, that's probably when they're the most inclined to put some money behind their political cause to make sure that their voices are being heard during the election season. So just like any other fundraising, I'm sure that's probably what it is.
Now, I guess if we don't have any more predictions, or first off, this episode's definitely going to get demonetized. And
I'm not sure.
I'm not
sure which way to bet on this, because in a sane world, this wouldn't even be prosecuted. They'd be like, "Oh, we have video footage of everything. It was self-defense, clearly." But now we have the media that is trying to create an alternate reality where he's a white supremacist gang member who went there to kill people,
Right.
And they're lying about even the court case. They're saying that, what was it?
I saw that.
Yeah, they're saying that Grosskreutz testified that his hands were up when Rittenhouse shot him. Like that, what? That did not happen. He literally
that's why I'm saying that people, when the media is like just telling people straight up, this is the opinion you should have, and they're lying about the actual events, people are going to legitimately think reality is twisted when this verdict comes out, and they're going to want mob justice. That's why I think it's going to be a disaster.
So I don't know which way to go. I don't think we live in a sane world anymore. So
clearly not.
Okay, what about this? Either there's going to be all the riots. I don't think the media is going to push the results very much. I think that they're going to try to sweep it all under the rug and say, forget about Kyle Rittenhouse. The same way they kind of like forget about
no benefit.
Sandman, whatever, Nick Sandman, after he won that $2 million case against CNN for slandering him.
This is going to be even crazier. Did you see the tweet from Biden calling Rittenhouse a white supremacist?
What the fuck?
Yeah, it was like...
is that an old tweet?
Yeah, September of 2020.
Let me see if I can find that.
Well, that sounds like that might have some unfair sway on the perception of this trial.
Maybe a little bit. The president calls him an enemy. Shit, where can I find that?
Here, I'll post it in...
yeah.
Where should I post? I'll just put it in the chat.
Okay. Yeah, So yeah, I mean, I think the whole situation in general is like Rittenhouse probably should have stayed out of something. It's like you don't jump around a bunch of people fighting, and then if you end up getting hit and then hitting someone else, like you knew what you were getting into a little bit. You bring a gun to a gunfight.
Well,
wait,
no.
when was this?
If
September 2020.
If people for multiple days in a row are attacking your property, like say you have a big house, and people are like destroying it every day.
His property.
No. Like metaphorically, they're attacking this property. If you go there and then one of these violent people starts attacking you and you self-defend yourself, it's not your fault. Like, it wasn't.
Yeah,
it's not. It wasn't smart for him to go there, but it's not smart for people to join the military and go to war either.
I think it's completely irrelevant. What's on trial here is this one altercation between these people. The reason why they were there, I think, is completely irrelevant.
It is irrelevant. Yeah. If it's just about what took place, it's fucking horrific on the prosecutor's side. They have completely blundered this.
The whole time, like, he was like, so what were you doing there? He was like, I was giving people first aid. Anyone who needed it. I was there to give first aid and make sure everything stayed safe. And then there was just this one guy who was crazy and chased him into a corner. And
people can't act like this is a new thing. Me and Eggy were watching a Tosh.0 from like 3 or 4 years ago. And literally there was an episode about an 18-year-old little white kid who wears full body armor and he carries a gun just like the one Kyle had, and he paroles his neighborhood. And they had like a cute little segment on Tosh.0 about it. And they like made jokes that he's a racist, and he's like, no, I just want to protect my community. And that was it. Like, nothing bad happened. Sounds like Kyle did the same thing, only this time somebody got to stepping and he got to shooting.
Except, yeah, in the media made a story out of it.
Is skateboarding a crime?
Oh, hitting someone with a skateboard, yeah.
Well, if somebody's attacking you,
it doesn't matter if he had a bunch of straws stuck together that he was like hitting him with. Like,
yeah, Rusty, I'm going to be honest. If you came at me with your fist, I would shoot you.
No, and that's legal. Because
I'm
once you knock
he does it.
But once you knock someone out, it doesn't matter if they have a gun. You have the gun now if they have one.
Yeah,
like your fist. It's like they're like, you had a gun and they were hitting you with the skateboard. So why did you use lethal force? It's like, because if he knocked me out, he could take my gun or he could continue to smash my skull in. What?
I don't want to harp on it too much, but I was thinking of the guy who, pointed the gun at him and then got shot.
Yeah.
This all went down in like the course of a few seconds. And so this is a lot of like figuring out, all right, analyze what is the situation on both sides. Like, everyone's trying to figure out who the fuck is this kid with the assault-like weapon. This guy, he's got his concealed gun, and he's like, fuck, maybe he actually did think like, holy shit.
There's another interesting aspect of it. Grosskreutz, the guy who got his who got disarmed, as Kyle's running.
He certainly did.
Yeah, as Kyle's running, he's recording a live stream and he's running next to him. He's like, what happened? Or people are yelling, he shot someone. He was like, who shot someone, to Kyle? And Kyle's like, I had to do it. I'm going to get the police. And then, so basically this dude knew, he said he was going to get the police. Then he continued to chase him. And as Kyle got struck by a skateboard and kicked in the face by some other dude. Why were you chasing him? Gage Grosskreutz, the one with the pistol, knew he was running to the police. Why was he trying to stop him?
I see that.
Why would, if someone just shot someone and they say, I'm running to the police, it's like, okay, well, especially if they have a fucking assault rifle, it's like, you do you, bro. Like, okay. What?
Yeah. So I don't know. I can't wait to see what the results are going to be, because it's going to be fucking messy.
Dude, this trial, I mean, it's like 8-9 hours a day. So I understand not everyone can watch it, but the highlights it's like watching one of the best episodes of Law and Order ever.
Right.
Because it's like just so clear cut. And then you also get to see the reality of the media lying, blatantly lying. Like, there's a video of Cenk Uygur from the Young Turks saying all kinds of crazy ass shit.
Yeah, I saw Anna Kasparian actually posted an amendment to something they were saying, an amendum, whatever, I don't know what the word
Addendum?
is. Saying how they'd gotten the story so fucking wrong. And like, they're saying, all right, it does matter that he was, shots had been fired as he was running away from two people, and they approached him on the ground with a gun and a skateboard. Like, I don't know what they had said previously to that, but it's like, how the fuck did you not know that was the story? The footage has already been out for over a year.
Like, don't go to the media. Watch the literal footage. There are so many people live streaming the whole thing.
Yeah, which is awesome.
It's like, there's no excuse.
Still doubling down.
Yeah, I think taking all that into consideration, I think probably what's going to happen is that I don't know. It's sort of like how when you bet on like boxing or something, is it going to be a knockout or is it going to be a decision? Either way, I think it's going to be not guilty. And I think, as they say, facts don't care about feelings. So since all the facts are pretty cut and dry, in my opinion, I think everybody will just accept that is the correct verdict, and we'll all move on about our business. Just because we're out here, there's a lot going on in this world right now.
Yeah.
So I think everybody will kind of just be like on their way.
It's a lot like betting on an election where you know it's like a sure thing, because clearly it's a sure thing. But then somehow the other side cheats so bad that you just lose the money, you know?
Right. When's the last time that happened?
Like a year ago, to me at least.
You have just listened to a clip from the Trash Rats podcast. Now that you have that free sample of goodness, make sure to devour the entire feast by subscribing to the Trash Rats podcast and enjoying it in its entirety.